All right, so I was at a card shop a couple days ago, baseball card shop, and they actually was selling. They had some WWE trading cards, so I decided to purchase. They only had one of these left, so I purchased this. This is WWE Heritage. I think these came out like 2012, and so basically with Heritage, it's based on the original 1985 design. So back in the day, it has that kind of like look to the card, and I was like, you know what? I remember buying a the 1995 cards. Um, they're somewhere in the closet, but I thought this would be pretty cool to get and see. So on the cover, it's Andre the Giant, with the world title around his shoulder. So this, I guess, would probably be taken from uh, Saturday Night's main event from February of 1988, when they did the controversial finish with Hulk Hogan with the two referees and Andre winning the title, and then shortly right after giving it up to Million Dollar Man, Ted DiBiase. So I did open the cards. So let me just show you what the cards look like. So the first one I got on here is we have Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. This is what the back of the cover definitely has that old school feel to it. 85. If you look at this you can, if you found this, you would think that maybe definitely this card came out in like 1985. So they did a pretty good job with recreating the feel to that. And then, you see the back, you got a picture of Roddy Piper in the corner over there. And then you got the wrestler's name, their weight, where they're from, and then a short paragraph about them. Ricky Steamboat. Definitely, in my opinion, I always associate him more with NWO and WCW than WWE. Even though everybody like always talks about WrestleMania 3, his match with Macho Man Randy Savage for the IC title. Uh, you know, he wins the title, and then shortly after, he drops it to Honky Tonk Man, and again, that was kind of surprising. I think I've heard that he wanted to take time off or something like that, and that's kind of like I mean WWE spent all this time putting you in that position, and you wanted to take time off. So I think that Vince might have saw him as somebody that they didn't want to put like 100% in anymore, because somebody they might not able to like you know you put you spend all these months like putting this guy in this position, and then all of a sudden he says that he needs to take time off. So maybe he would never be put into that position again. But I always say like and he was more. I always associate him more with WCW and the NWA. If you really want to see some really good Ricky Steamboat matches, go back to like 1989 on the WWE Network, and his trilogy with Ric Flair from '89. I think it was like Wrestle War, and then there's I think there's the Clash of Champions in there too. Uh, I don't know exactly, but if you go back to their pay per views section in the WWE Network and go to like WCW 1989 pay per views, you'll see that. And he had some really good matches with Ric Flair and over the NWA title. And then also later in his career in WCW, his feuds with Ravishing Rick Rude. Next on the next card I got was Tully Blanchard. Here was the back of that card. Again, another guy that's more associated with the NWA than WWE. He did have a short run with them, with Arn Anderson as the Brain Busters. We're talking about probably 88 to 89. He was supposed to, when Arn went back to WCW in 1990, he was supposed to go with him, but he failed a drug test with WWE, and Jim Barnett, Jim Hurt, I'm sorry, Jim Hurt was in charge of WCW at the time, decided not to take him back, and I mean that was pretty much it for Tully. I mean, he had. I mean, if you go back to some of those NWA matches in in the early '80s, he had a I think it was Starrcade '84 or '85. The match with Magnum TA. It's an I Quit match. Really brutal match. Definitely take. All right, and then we got some current people. We got Tamina Snuka. Here's the back. Again, the daughter of Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. I think the problem with her career so far is she's been like injured a lot. So there's been a lot of like start and stops of her career. I know a couple years ago, they put her in a tag with Nia Jax, and Nia Jax goes down with an injury, so that kind of affected her push. Um, I'm not sure. I mean, what to do with her? Like, she just doesn't seem. It just seems that every time she gets that time, like she gets injured, and then she's out for a couple of months, and she comes back. So again, like I said, there's a lot, stops with her career. Uh, she definitely has the look. Um, Maybe I'm not seeing any personality yet, but I mean that could be just WWE writers not giving her enough material. Naomi. Now you talk about people that they really drop the ball with. Definitely with her. I think earlier this year, I really felt that they were trying to build her up as a contender for the SmackDown Women's title, and I think just like in the last couple months, she's kind of just faded away. I think the last time I really saw her on SmackDown was when they were doing the karaoke, which was such a goofy segment. I think maybe maybe moving her to Raw, a different environment would work. Different people to feud with. She could easily. I can definitely see her being like the top, face of the women's division. Uh, I mean, top baby face. Put her against. Be that second. Asuka needs someone to tag with. Put her in second there. Um, but yeah, they definitely dropped the ball with her so far. Next card is Damian Sandow. Speaking of dropping the ball, I mean, definitely WWE definitely dropped the ball on him. You can find him now in NWA. Here's the back of the card. I mean, definitely, when he came back, when he was doing the whole Mizdow thing, he was definitely over. I just think the WWE just lost interest or something. But he's very talented. Was very good on the mic. Uh, really, was really good as a heel. Um, yeah, and now he's in NWA. Hopefully, I don't know what's going on with NWA, but hopefully, like maybe someday we'll find him in AEW. And he'll have a bigger audience. Next one's the Big Show. Here's the back. Never really was a Big Show fan. Even going way back to WCW when he was known as the Giant. Big Show is one of those guys, a flip flopper. You could be a heel this week. Next week, you could be a baby face. I actually thought he retired, and then he showed up to Raw like a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, and they did the program with Randy Orton. Yeah, never was a big fan of the Big Show. Then we got Santino Marella. He had a good career with WWE. He was like the comic relief. So he had a couple years with them, doing the comedy. I think every couple years WWE has that one guy that's for the comedy. I think nowadays it's like R-Truth. But Santino Marella was like a goofball. Then we have Trish Stratus. And then they just talk about like a promo that she did. This was like back in 2004. It's when she was in the middle of the feud between Chris Jericho and Christian. So this was like around WrestleMania 20, when they were trying to do kind of like a love triangle. with Chris Jericho, and then something in between like Chris Jericho and Trish, and then like she turned on him and sided with Christian. So that was, and then the last card, of course, we get a Sin Cara card. Um, so yeah, this is pretty. I mean, again, these cards came out in like 2012. There was only one left in the card shop that I went to. So I mean, I definitely would have tried to buy more. Again, one of the reasons why, because I like that old school look at the cards. Makes you think it came out in like '85. But that's pretty much it. And thanks for watching.